What's up everybody, this is Aircrete Harry, and today's video is dedicated to Matt Carricker of Off the Ranch. So Matt's doing a series called The Abandoned Resort, and it's really interesting. I was watching his video, and I'll let him introduce himself and his resort.
Welcome to Off the Ranch. My name is Matt Carricker. I like long walks on the beach. I like sunrises. Holy freaking cow. I like sunsets even more. And I also like abandoned pieces of junk. And I got one. This is my abandoned resort. So it was operating as a resort, and a successful one from what I've read, in the 80s and 90s. It's situated in Texas Hill Country, right in the middle, kind of north of San Antonio. It is 330 acres.
So Matt wants to take his resort and make it nice so people can come, stay, enjoy the river when it rains, enjoy the shooting range. I'm sure he's going to have an awesome shooting range there. He's already cleared out the area. You can even see it in the distance in that shot. So you can see here there are a lot of structures that have been knocked down and still need to be knocked down. And so I want to suggest to Matt a option of rebuilding your area with concrete and airforms. So now most of the airforms I'm talking about are dome shaped, and this is an example of a dome shaped airform. This is one that I made myself using Tyvek house wrap. Now these are great for building one structure, and I recommend it for people looking to build an inexpensive home. But what I would recommend for Matt is the reusable airforms. Now this is not a reusable airform, but it's very similar. My point in showing this airform is instead of a single dome, you can have airforms made like this one, which is a 4-dome airform, 4 domes in one airform that you can inflate. And you could build up to 100 of these structures with one reusable airform. Now this is the inside of that airform, and there's 2 methods you can build with. One is where you spray your shotcrete from the outside of the airform, and the other is where you spray your shotcrete from the inside. Now this is another airform just to demonstrate different geometry and different shapes you could have made. So you could choose a shape, and let's just say for argument's sake you like this same shape. You can have this airform made, and you could make up to 100 of these structures using the same airform. It's a really simple process. Once the airform has been mounted, the actual rebar and shotcrete won't take more than a week to spray up. And within 2 weeks you could be done with the structure itself. The airform could be deflated. You can move the airform to another area and build another structure just like this. Now this is just one example. You're also going to see how this structure looks on the inside, and this one just happens to be Robert Downey Jr.'s mansion. He's got this same shape, and you're going to see the inside of his home and how it looks finished. But my point is, you could build the same structure yourself, and it would cost you anywhere from $10 to $20 a square foot to build yourself. Now obviously there's some equipment you would need, but it's really just 2 pieces of equipment, which is a shotcrete machine and an air compressor. And after that, you have your cement mix brought to you. The shotcrete mix could be brought, dumped into your cement mixer, and you can get shotcreting. And so this is an option that I feel is probably one of the best. You're going to save the most money. You're going to be building some of the strongest structures you could build. A dome and a hyperbolic paraboloid structure are the strongest shapes you can build. And I'll show you some examples of that. But here's an example of the machine. So you can get a concrete pump, top left. Bottom right is an air compressor. They're both towable. And with these 2 pieces of equipment are the main pieces of equipment you need for this job. And you can easily build multiple structures in almost no time for very little cost. And in my opinion, it's probably the best thing you can do. You won't have to be worried about any wood. You don't have to worry about any termites or any rotting. You don't have to worry about fires. With these structures, the dome and the hyperbolic paraboloid being built of concrete, they're fireproof, hurricane resistant, tornado resistant, termite resistant, earthquake resistant. They're very good structures to build. They're probably going to last centuries done right. And that's basically what my channel's been about, is doing a lot of R&D, research and development with different material mixes, different insulative cement mixes, all to bring the cost down to build a structure. Now we use cement to make a stucco shotcrete that we spray on the structure, and then we use cement with either a foaming agent to make an aircrete or a cellular cement for insulation. We also use styrocrete, which is styrofoam mixed into concrete, or rather mixed into Portland cement. And then you have a styro aircrete, which is the styrofoam, shredded styrofoam beads, and that's recycled styrofoam mixed with the aircrete to make an insulative mix. And those are some just really good options for making really inexpensive insulation for your structures. And so I have a lot of information on that. I recently had R value test done that shows the R value for these materials, and I think this, in combination with geothermal energy tubing, you can make a nice passive system that'll cool your structures for virtually no cost using geothermal energy. And I think that's a really good option you have for your area here. Now, when I saw this pool area, as far as ideas for more fun of a resort, this pool right here just reminded me of these surfing pools. So the thought I had was, wow, how lucky would Matt's resort guest be to be able on a hot Texas summer day jump in one of these wave pools and just have a blast. I can imagine a bar being close by so you can have some drinks and laugh at people falling in the water. So I just added this here, just an idea. Now I did look up the cost, the price for one of these machines, and they start at $500,000 with 150 install. So $650 for a small one. Now I also looked up some homemade versions of this machine, and really what are we talking about but a good strong pump. So maybe like a fire engine pump hooked up to the PTO of a tractor, and you guys are surfing in your pond there with just a little tarp as your floor. I don't know, it's just an idea I was throwing out, but I wanted to include these videos, this one and this next video coming up, where people just made their own homemade surf pool, and I just think it's some of the coolest things you could do. So instead of, you know, over $500,000 on a pool, I could see Matt and some other helpers out there coming up with their own version, and you could probably build something real sweet for like 10 or 20 grand and have just a blast. So I like this. You can see the big pool to capture that water, and they're just recycling it. It's just going, you know, it recycles over and over, and it looks real simple. And I could see Matt really liking this idea and wanting to build one of these at his resort eventually. But anyway, that was just a fun idea I had to throw in there. Just to give you some other examples now, this is a custom-made airform I had made. It's 24 feet wide and 64 feet long, 12 feet tall at the peaks. So here's the design that I have for my garage workshop. So this first space will be the garage, the second space would be for my workshop. Now, for the first design, I have it where I'm keeping the domed end on one side, and on the other I have the opening so that I can drive in with the truck. Now there's other designs. So the one next to it is a design, it's the same airform just on top of a stem wall. So this is a 4-foot tall stem wall, making everything 4 feet taller. Here you have again, the windows, the skylights, all that can be completely modified, can be put anywhere you wanted it. In this case, I have a door here on the end. I have this window and skylights. This would be like a loft area, and you can see this one has 2 domed ends. Then you have one with 2 open ends. All right, you have open here and open here. And so there's a bunch of variations could be done with this reusable. Here's another example, just connecting 2 of them. I mean, this is a massive amount of space. And here's yet another one connecting 4 of them to a dome. And so it's pretty cool what you could do with these airforms. This here is a same design but shorter. This one is only 20 feet wide in the middle here. This middle section is 20 feet and there's 12 feet at the domed ends. So this is an example, and this is a hyperbolic paraboloid because we have a bend going in 2 directions. We have a bend going the width way and we have a bend going the length way. And so this is similar to a horse saddle, and this is known to be the second strongest shape you could build. And I have another design to show you of a hyperbolic paraboloid that works really nice. Now when you have ends like this here where it's not a dome coming all the way down, the footprint is a square. So the idea behind this, just as an example, if you have multiple structures where you have foundations and slabs already that are equal, you could get an airform that the size would fit each of those foundations, and you could put one of these hyperbolic paraboloid structures, which is what I would recommend because your foundations are going to be rectangle, so that would work for these designs. And here are some other hyperbolic paraboloid shapes. Once again, this same structure could be made with the same airform, and you can see this one next to a dome. Here's an animation of it, how it would look completed. Here you have some more. This one's got a garage underneath it. Once again, one airform is all you would need to create all these structures, and you can have a whole bunch of rentals on your property, made very simply, very inexpensively, completely strong. Yep, with one airform you can even have a 4-story version. And here's a more earth and ground green roof designs, and again that would be one airform to make that. And this is another example, multiple domes made with one airform. And this is here to show you it's simple wood framing for your doors and windows on a round form. So this is Monolithic in Texas, and you can see they have a bunch of rentals. These are domes that they rent on their property. You could do the exact same thing. Only difference is you're using a method that we'll discuss when it comes to the different cements you can use for insulation, just to make things more affordable. And also there's ceramic paints that are really good too that could be used. And this is just to give you another idea now. Let's just say we have 1, 2, 3, 4 airforms. We get this long hallway tunnel. This one here is designed to be 12 feet wide by about 70 feet long, I think. But either way, my point is, with the different airforms, you can keep replicating them over and over and over to whatever design you want. And so this was just one design that I came up with as an inexpensive mansion. That was the idea behind this. I said, let me design a mansion that would be inexpensive to build and would have massive amount of space. So I was just playing around, and this is a design I came up with. But my only point in showing this is, once again, you can take those airforms and reuse them to 100 times or even more, depending on how well you maintain them. And with the same large airform you have, you can go ahead and build your own theater so you can hold your own concerts on your property. It's the same airform, you just only build half of it.